Madam Clerk, will you please?
Pleasure.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let me call you back up in the city council.
Discussion items. Number 1, discussion possible direction to staff amending the police department use of force policy. Councilman Varona?
Thank you,
Please.
Mayor. Mayor, I asked the city manager to go ahead and prepare a policy that has to do with what has been going on nationally. And I want to make sure that I'm trying to find it here, Mayor, on my tablet here, and I'm having a hard time finding it. It's under orders. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, Mayor. It's on the proposed policy there at 3.1. It deals with number 1, de-escalation, and it deals with the carotid control and chokehold, which basically means the restricting the flow of air and restricting the flow of blood to the brain, and the duty to intervene. And the policy that's been in place since April the 12th, 1999, which is policy number 38, that was developed and implemented by Chief of Police John Kissinger at that time. I've asked him, and he's made these recommendations to serve as an amendment to the policy itself, and I am in accord with these. I think it's very well thought out, very well written out, and I think this will help our community go too, so we want our officers to be safe. This is nothing, I'm very supportive of public safety, extremely supportive of public safety, but I just want to make sure that our officers understand that there's other resources that you can do. You know, an officer carries a gun, an officer carries a stun gun. There's a lot of organizations here, law enforcement organizations for backup, but I just think that this is a big plus for our community to have these amendments onto our policy. And I'm sure, Mr. Massey, you didn't find anything inappropriate with the language itself?
No, there's nothing inappropriate by the language itself. And it doesn't change the fundamental focus of the use of force policy, which is that force is authorized, in fact appropriate, to preserve life and property when the police officer is there and has reasonable belief that force is necessary to do that.
So we're still in accord with all
Yeah, I have no objections.
Mayor? So we can have discussion?
Yes.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to go ahead and accept these amendments, number 1, number 2, and number 3, on the use of force. Number 1 being de-escalation, number 2, carotid control and chokehold, and number 3, the duty to intervene. And these amendments are being amended to the Nogales Police Department policy use of force number 38, dated April the 12th, 1999.
Second. Yes, John.
I'm sorry, Mr. Allen, trying to get lefties to pay. Hang up, no more coming out the public. I'm sorry, I apologize.
A question?
Yes, go ahead, discussion.
Will there be any training attached to this policy?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, go ahead.
I'm sure the chief, once we pass this policy, will implement some training to make sure that all of those officers are aware of this policy. If they need to do any training or anything, they'll make sure that they implement, train on this policy.
John, do you know that if the academies are going to be working on something like this, to, that they train them over there so when they come here, they're basically understand? You think they'll be doing that statewide?
I don't know, Mr. Mayor. find out for you and report back on it. I think this is a good addition to our current use of force policy. It will protect us from some of those carotid chokeholds and stuff like that. I'm glad that that's in there. I'm also glad that we have that de-escalation that talks about that and more importantly, the duty to intervene. So I think those are some of the new things that have come down, and I think definitely are.
Because remember when you and I went to the academy, they showed us some stuff over there that, you know, probably it's not good to use nowadays, but
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah.
The law enforcement has changed over the years. Continuously.
okay. Is there any more discussion? No? No. Call for the question.
Question?
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Councilman Varona, for bringing it up.
Thank you, Mayor, and I would like to thank Mr. Kissinger with his law enforcement background and his administrative experience. He put this together, and I think this is a fine, welcome addition to our community to make sure that we are current with everything with law enforcement.
Thank you.
One thing for sure is that the mayor and council, for the public, to make sure you understand, we are very supportive of our police department.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes,
this
go-
goes into effect immediately, or is there a?
No, it does go, no, it goes into effect immediately.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I guess the police chief is gonna be the one, implementing this and after it's passed, well, we passed it already, that he goes through the training. Is there something else, Mr. Messi, you were gonna say?
No, it's just that this is direction to staff so that the chief of police has the direction to incorporate these provisions into the policy and commence training on it. Pretty much immediately, yes.
Okay, number 2, financial monthly report. Mr. Kissinger?
Mr. Mayor, I passed out the financial monthly report. Jeanette's not with us tonight.
Yes.
I'm sorry, you gotta get that to the soldier. But some good news. The sales tax came in very well. We just got a check for $400 and some thousand last Friday, I believe. So if we look to date, we're actually up 1.2 million in sales tax overall throughout the entire year, right? Our bed tax is suffering a little bit compared to last month. Well, actually quite a bit, but the sales tax collection so far is keeping up. That's great news. I don't know exactly what to attribute that to. You would think that with the border closing down, we would see a huge, reduction in our sales tax collection, but so far we haven't seen the big hit. So I'm optimistic that we'll continue down this path. The numbers are the numbers, right? They will lie.
Yeah.
That's what we
You know,
did.
what I think that helped us out, there's 2 things. One was the stimulus that was sent to every one of us. Councilwoman and I were talking in the office earlier. And the other one is that not everybody's going to Tucson anymore. They're staying in Nogales. And so the longer you stay in Nogales, you tend to spend your money here. So that model that we had in the past, shop locally, everybody's doing it. And that right away tells you that it does work.
Right.
Because, I myself, I haven't left Nogales, in 3 months. So I'm sure a lot of people are doing the same thing. Even though the state is open for business, I think people are still staying here and buying local. It's a lot better, and this way they don't have to go through the process of trying to take care of themselves with the COVID or somewhere else, Yes, go ahead, Councilman.
John, I remember before the state was withholding the tax, is that the taxes we got for May? Or when you said the 400,000, for what month is that? Because usually the state was running 90 days behind.
30 days.
Yeah. great question.
At first they said it was gonna be 90 days behind, I don't know, they upped it originally.
It's not 90 days behind.
But is it May or is it?
It would create
or
a
are we
heck
talking
of a
about
cash flow
March?
problem. We're ahead 1.2 at the end of the fiscal year, but the month of June is actually the month of May that we collect.
Yes,
But
but is it May or is it May or is it? Is that what it says, John? It says collections for May?
that's collections.
So what this report is reporting is when we received it, not when it was collected. To be honest with you, I don't know when they collected that check. The state, what month that was collected for. All I can report to you is that in the month of June, that's when we received the money. What period of time that money was for, I don't have that information to reach that.
My understanding has always been that the month of June is what we collect the previous one.
You could be 100% right. I don't know that.
Well, if you could check, because when they first switched over, that the state was gonna collect, the state came out with that there was gonna be a delay before we got that money, right? And I think at that time, it was gonna be like a 90-day delay. But I don't know, they might have caught up and they changed the deal and we were 30 days behind, like we used to be, right? But if you could just check, John, just ask finance there, what month are we getting that month, those 400,000 or what month?
Go ahead, Councilman.
Mayor, the only thing I'd like to stress to my colleagues here is that even though we're ending at $10.5 million in sales tax collection, which is approximately $1.2 million in excess of last year's fiscal collection, we're still not collecting enough money to keep the city afloat and our projects going. Maybe when we talk about some of these resolutions that are coming up there, you know, we put in some money there to do a lot of work on streets, water, and sewer projects. A lot, and considering the way things are now. But I'm glad that we did better, but we should approach this cautiously, because we don't have the revenues to do what we actually want to do. And it's nice, it's better to collect 1.2 million above than to be short 1.2 million.
Yes.
But we're still not, you know, we'd have to be receiving at least 16, 17, 18 million dollars in sales tax. That's one of the things, Mayor, that I think we were all in agreement here, to shift some money over to your budget, because we need this
Yes.
economic development.
Yeah.
We need to work on that, what we can do to grow. That's all, Mayor, I just wanted to point that out.
Thank you. John, is there anything else?
No, Mr. Mayor, the report speaks for itself.
Okay.
If there's any questions on it that I can try to answer to you.
I think I'm fine. Everybody the same? Feel the same?
Sure.
You're all good? Okay. Let's go to number 4 then, liquor license.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, John. Number 1, consideration possible action on liquor license 2020-11.
So moved, Mayor.
Second. Discussion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Number 5, orders. Number 1, consideration possible action of order 2020-07-032, an order of the Council of City of Nogales approving the extension of an agreement with the Communication Workers of America.
So moved, Mayor.
Second.
Discussion? John, you have
Mr.
something?
Mayor, so I put this order together. CWA for some reason is off with police and fire. So police and fire actually are going to expire at the end of next year. CWA contract expired at the end of this year, which makes it, for some reason, they're off. I think there was some extensions done in the past. With this extension for 1 year, same terms, no change. With this extension, it'll put them at least on track with police and fire. And as we started looking at negotiations on this back in February, we were going through a lot of were focused on a lot of other issues, here in the city, and didn't have the opportunity to sit with, CWA to hammer out an agreement. I have spoken with the CWA president, and we both agreed that, especially with Corona and what's been going on earlier this year with the city, with the coronavirus and other things, that we both mutually agreed that we should extend the current contract out for 1 year. That's what I propose here, brought forward. That's what I'm requesting that the council approve tonight.
Thank you, Judge. Councilman Hanesian, you were going to say something.
No, I think John answered whatever.
Okay, Councilman Lorena.
Thank you, Mayor. Mr. Quezada, I just want to make sure on the letter from Mrs. Hatfield, the president of the organization, she said that she would hope that sometime in the next couple of months that the negotiations could start so they'd be ready by the conclusion of the year. Maybe it can be renewed by sometime in March or May ahead of time.
We could definitely look at that, but what this, extension does, it extends it for
1 year.
Right, you could always renegotiate a contract to go into effect earlier, probably wouldn't be wise, because we would want them all to, but we can start negotiating for the end of the year.
We'll start negotiating early, like you says here, the early part of this fiscal year.
Sure.
But it's not gonna take effect, so you can have it in place, then you can go on to the police and the fire.
Absolutely.
That's all, Mayor, I just wanted to
Okay.
make sure.
Thank
And
you.
Mrs. Hatfield is in accord with this.
Yes.
Okay. Call for the question, Mayor.
Thank you. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you very much. Number 2, consideration possible action of order 2020-07-033, an order of the Council of the City of Nogales, Arizona, committing local funds as leverage for a FY 2020 Community Development Block Grant application.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Go ahead, Councilman.
Mayor, could you please inform the public what street and what we're doing as a I want the public to know what we're doing with these projects, Mayor.
Okay.
If we just use the numbers here, but we don't tell the people, this is a street that we're gonna do, this is what we're gonna do on that street. And, you know, we put a lot of work for this just to pass motions and not, let's tell the people what we're doing.
Okay.
And Mr. Mayor, on the same vein, I think that we should, one way or another, just let people know what streets have been paved.
Yeah,
Because-
that's right.
Because I would say unless you live on Perkins, you really don't know what went on Perkins and with the other streets there. So somewhere or another, we have to figure out how we're gonna advise the people of what's being done,
Yes.
or has been done.
Okay, and this CDBG program money, the actual it's commits 237,260 from Fund 204 to CDBG program to be used for the following: Camino del Sol water system and streets improvement, contingent upon receipt on FY 2020 CDBG assistance. So it's Camino del Sol water system
Water and street.
and street system. And just so you know, like Mr. Hanesian said, the past 2 CDBG and Colonias grants that we received, one of them was for McNabb, that was completed already, and the other one is for the Perkins area in Nogalitos. So that one is complete also. So great improvements for Nogales and great opportunities with these grants. So,
And we're applying for two tonight.
and we're applying, yeah, for 2. One is the Colonias and this one. Yes. Is there any more discussion on this?
No, but, Mr. Mayor, I would like for an update on all these projects that we've been doing, just to give us a little update, because I think that Councilman Henesian is right. Sometimes we don't market what we're doing in the community, and
Yes.
then people look at us that we don't do, and we're doing a lot of things,
Yes.
okay? So we need to inform. Could you please turn this?
Maybe what we should do, Councilman, John, maybe what we should do is make a list for the August meeting,
Yes.
and then make a presentation on the projects that are complete and the projects that we have submitted for. Can we do that?
We can do that, Mayor. We didn't do that on purpose because we're kind of saving that for the city address.
Yes, I know, we've been saving all that.
Since that kind of on.
I know, we
maybe
got
can do it in the
stuck
August
with that.
meeting And do a presentation, and I can ask, Juan to Juan and Public Works team, Alejandro, put a PowerPoint and we can give you guys a presentation of the streets that we accomplished, got done. Not only with CDBG money, but with our HERB money. and
With the
local
HERB money,
revenues.
yes. And believe me, the State of the City address is still in line. I just don't know how I'm gonna proceed with it, you know, because every time I start planning for it, something else happens. And even if I have to go virtual, go on Facebook or something, or write it up and put it on the newspaper, one way or the other, we have to put that up at least by the end of the summer. I'd love to do it in March, but you know, everything started in March on the 26th. So. Yeah, we'll do that, but still get something prepared for the August meeting, and we can start with that.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, John. Any more discussion?
Question?
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. Number 2. And that was number 2. Number 3, consideration possible action of order 2020-07-034, an order of the Council of the City of Nogales, Arizona, committing local funds as leverage for FY 2020 Colonias Community Development Block Grant application.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Discussion? Want me to read that one too? Yes, okay. Okay, this one, committed and City of Nogales hereby commits $45,795 from Fund 2004 to the Colonias CDBG program to be used for the following: new street water system and street improvements in the West Quadrant Colonia, contingent upon receipt of the FY 2020 Colonia CDBG assistance. Just for your information, Colonias is a different, just a lot different than just regular CDBG grant for street improvements or water. This has to be identified in certain areas of the city, and luckily we've received quite a bit of Colonias grants, so we've been very happy. We've been very lucky in the past year or two to receive.
Mr. Mayor, this project will come in, will be just short of $1 million.
That we've been spent. So we've been very, I mean, it's been great for us, you know. And Seagull and the executive board and administrative board of Seagull has, you know, they've been very good at helping Nogales, and we have great representation in that board. Yes.
Mayor, the one thing is that if you could just state the city that will do what street and what are we gonna do on it? You just did? Oh, did you? I didn't hear
Yes.
that. I didn't.
Yeah.
The new street?
No street, water system and street improvements
Okay.
Thank you, Mayor.
in the West Quadrant Colonia contingent.
Just,
Yes.
thank you, Mayor. I just wanna make sure that the people understand that we work very hard. We
Yes.
have a staff that works very hard on this. And sometimes, you know, we did all of Crawford and Perkins and other streets, and sometimes people don't realize how we're working to get the money, to make sure that we're doing projects to improve the infrastructure in
Yes.
our community.
Go ahead. Yes, Vice Mayor.
Yes, on the staff summary, it says the total project cost was $915,898, and that was from the CDBG received. We received $870,103, and the $45,795 is from the overweight fees.
Is it, John? Is that what we're using? Yeah, that's
That's our match.
yes. That's our matching.
And it's listed in the budget you just approved. And Mr. Mayor, if I could, the Colonias and the CDBG projects are restricted to areas with a certain income within
Yes,
our community. So not all neighborhoods are applicable to receive these types of funds. So
Yes.
there's certain neighborhoods within our community that we can spend this fund in certain projects.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
As
a good point.
long as we're informing the public
Yes.
what we're doing with these projects.
Yeah, because we can't, basically we can't take it north of Holbrook Overpass, basically. If I can, right or no? Close,
So,
kind of like on an angle or
I-
something.
we might have, it could be possible, Mayor, but we'd have to do a salary survey throughout the neighborhood and
And see if they
report that
qualify.
information. Fortunately, we've already done it in these neighborhoods, so they qualify, and then we can move quicker. The Noon Street was already shovel-ready, projects, so we're ready to go on that. Next year, with the budget you just approved, we're going, with that Winkle note, we're gonna approve a whole bunch of shovel-ready projects, because that's what that money's gonna be spent on, getting all these projects shovel-ready. So we'll be in a better position either to spend some of our Winkle money on some of these projects, or go for some more CDBG
CDBG.
grants with shovel-ready projects.
Perfect. Thank you, John.
Mhm.
Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? You guys have it, thank you very much. Okay, number 4, consideration possible action of order 2020-07-035, an order of the council of the city of Nogales, Arizona, authorizing the police department to apply for a grant from the Southwest Border Rural Law Enforcement Assistance Program.
So moved, Mayor.
Second?
Discussion. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, what I like about this is that this grant that the chief of police is seeking is something that he was seeking from us on our regular budget. And so he's going out to find other financial resources during these financial strenuous times for us. So I'm glad that he's going out and doing it, the chief.
Yes.
Very well complimented for his department that they're going out and seeking other revenue sources to help us in balancing our budget. Thank you, Mayor.
Good, thank you. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Number 5, consideration possible action of order 2020-07-036, an order of the council of the city of Nogales, Arizona, authorizing the police department to apply for a grant from the Southwest Border Rural Law Enforcement Assistance Program for vehicle, computers, and hardware.
So moved. Second.
Discussion.
Same thing, Mayor, compliment the administration of the police department, how they're going out and seeking other sources of revenue to help us out.
That's good. And most of these are non-matching, huh, John?
Yes, sir.
That's good. Those are the good ones. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Okay. Number 6, consideration possible action of order 2020-07-037, an order of the council of the city of Nogales, Arizona, accepting a grant from the Department of Justice COPS hiring program to fund up to 3 new officers.
So moved. Second.
Discussion.
The only thing is that I was looking over their schedule here, I'm glad that this grant includes fringe benefits also as a part of their funding, so that was nice. So this seems like a very good grant to help us with those 3 police officers.
And it's three police officers for 3 years, right?
Correct.
Is it?
Mayor?
Yes, go ahead.
That's what it was, right?
The funding is for 3 years.
The funding is
The
for-
police officers are funded.
Yeah, but their first 3 years will be paid for.
75%.
75%.
Again, like Mr. Barona has mentioned, compliments from Mr. Ramones
Yes.
for going out and getting these fundings to help us in these situations.
They have good people writing these grants in the police department.
Yep.
That's what I like. Good. Okay, any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Number 7, consideration possible action of order 2020-07-038, an order of the council of the city of Nogales authorizing the police department to apply for a grant from the Southwest Border Rural Enforcement Assistance Program for the replacement of interview room equipment.
So moved, Mayor.
Second.
Discussion.
Same thing, Mayor. Compliment the police department for going after outside funding sources to replace something that was in our budget.
they're requested for capital outlay.
This was on the.
This was,
You know, this is how a meeting can go so smooth. Is when things are done and it's for a good cause and a good presentation from our departments to do this and staff. I want to thank you all very much for this. Any more discussion?
No, Mayor, bouncing off of your comments, Mayor, this time, the staff summary here from the police department was excellent. Basically, all the questions were answered in their staff summary, so we don't have to go over every single detail. It helps when they put out a nice staff summary. Thank you,
Because
Mayor.
I talked to the police chief and I told him that in your final days, Mr. Varona, I wanted him to prepare a good staff summary so that the questions could be limited. And I want to thank you very much, Mr. Varona. And thank you, chief, if you're listening. That's it, close. Okay, hearing none. No, were you going to say something, Councilman? I don't want to
No,
stop you from saying it. Come on, say it.
that's fine. The meeting was run very well. Like everybody said, everything was there, so we didn't have to waste a lot of time.
I better call for the question on this one. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, number 6. Mayors and councils report on current events. Did you have it?
Take it from me.
Did you give it back?
Thank you.
You can give it back? I did it? Ah, here it is, here it is.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, do you, let's start with you guys, Mayor.
I don't have anything, Mr. Mayor.
All right. Councilman,
Well, Mayor,
No.
basically, you know, one thing I do want to clear up, Mayor, and it's something that I've been hearing comments and I've gotten calls and stuff like that, and, you know, I think it's appropriate to just throw it out in public. People have been calling, mixing Little League and the city together, and again, I want to let everybody know the city of Nogales and Nogales National Little League are two separate things. Nogales National Little League is a completely non-profit organization run by volunteers. It's got nothing to do with the city. We appreciate everything the city does for the league in support, but they're two different entities. I just want to clear that up.
thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you for
sir.
doing that because I've heard that too.
Yeah.
And I've told them, talk to my friend,
No,
Councilman.
and I've got calls.
Yes,
I've got calls.
because I told
and-
them that.
And
that same.
everybody wants it, they know, you know, it's two different things, and,
Yeah.
they understand.
Yes, that's good, that's good you're saying that.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, Councilman Hanesian, you're putting gel in your hands, that means you're about to leave. You're almost in your car. Okay, nothing? Councilman Diaz,
I have a little bit here.
go ahead.
I think Councilman Barona's gonna like this. We had our meeting at the BFW Sunday, this past Sunday.
And I missed it, sorry about that.
Yes. And we had our Voice of Democracy winner. Finally, we gave out the award for Voice of Democracy for our post, which was a gal out of Tucson, a student out of Tucson, won our post. It's a $300 Voice of Democracy essay, and then we gave our Office of the Year, which was the spokesman for Border Patrol, Alan Regalado, and he was the Officer of the Year for the post, so we gave him an award too. And we are gearing up so we can get all our programs done by October. Voice of Democracy, Patriot Spin, Officer of the Year, Firefighter of the Year, and EMT of the Year. So our committees are starting to send out applications to the schools, so the kids can send in their applications and hopefully win some awards from the BFW. So,
Tell them how the student is selected,
pardon me?
how to select the student for Voice of Democracy.
Well, for Voice of Democracy, we go through all the schools. This past year, we went to the superintendent of schools, and they sent applications to all the schools. We took the forms, they downloaded them, and sent them out to all the schools. And we have a scholarship committee. And what they do is, the essay is, what is patriotism to you? And, patriotism, it's all with patriotism. And every year the theme changes. And the kids have to do a 200-word essay. And they turn them in. They have to have a recommendation by a school, by their teacher, a mentor. And they put a little packet together and they turn it in. Our scholarship committee reviews it. They pick 1, 2, and 3, and they're the winners. 300, 200, and 100. Same thing with Patriots Pin. Then they go to our district. If they win at our district, they go to state. They win at state, they go to national. And 2 years ago, we had a Patriots Pin winner that won national. First time in Arizona. First time from
Nogales.
Nogales won that Patriots Pin. It was Daniel Rodriguez. And he went to Washington, D.C. with one parent. They were up there for a week, all expenses paid by the VFW. They went to all the monuments, the White House. They had a big it's a convention, and they went out and gave I gave Daniel Rodriguez a $5,000 check here, but he actually was presented a big one up in D.C. And as a matter of fact, the school board had him read the essay there at one of your school board meetings. And that was 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So it was the first time that anybody in Arizona won a national prize like that. And it was
No, from Nogales.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great.
And we do a lot of things. We're gonna try and do the POWMIA run.
Yeah.
Again, which you were instrumental last year, and we brought in a grant for the Humane Society, $2,500 they raised on that background. $2,500 went to the Humane Society, and $2,500 went to the honor funds. So the BW's out there. We're trying to do all our programs and help everybody out. So we're out
Good
there.
job, Councilman.
Fine job.
Yes.
Thank you.
Councilwoman, you have anything?
No report.
No, not at all. Councilman Varona,
Thank you, Mayor. No report.
no report. Okay, just go get a sandwich and. I was busy. I'm sorry, but you have to remember. Newborn doesn't want to say anything. He says he's going to yield the time to the mayor. Okay, let's start with June the 3rd. I had a conference call, White House, regarding COVID-19. June the 8th, conference call, Santa Cruz County officials. John and I are part of that. June 9th, Santa Cruz County Board of Supervisors meeting in regard to joint proclamation issued by the county, City of Nogales, Patagonia, Santa Cruz County. June 10th, I had an interview with K-Gun 9. June 15th, I had an interview with NBC, ABC, Arizona Republic, and radio multimedia interview. On June 16th, I had, regarding the letter that Governor Ducey on face mask, interview with Nogales International, Copper Courier interview, KTAR News interview, and our AZ News radio interview. June 17th, interview with Radio Geni, Arizona Republic, ABC News interview, and Univision. June 18th, I had an interview with PBS interview, ABC News interview, Telemundo, KGAN 9, KVOA, NBC, and Nogales Radio Geni. June 19th, CNN interview regarding the face mask. June 22nd, Arizona PBS News Hour interview, and a conference call with Senator Sinema's staff regarding the IOI. June 23rd, Arizona Public Media interview, and June 30th, NTN 24 News interview from Columbia. So, I've been busy, guys.
Yep.
But,
No Fox.
Fox didn't call me. Nada con Arturo. I don't know, I think Nubar's been telling him something, but they didn't call me. Go ahead, John.
Mr. Mayor, thank you. I just wanted to, make one note before you adjourn the meeting. Last month in our June meeting, we presented our COVID-19 response plan, for social distancing and what have you. A lot of things have changed in the month. It's mandatory with a mask instead of recommended by staff. So now it's the law. And another thing that happened, but one thing that happened during our June meeting, the council affirmed keeping city buildings closed to the general public for 30 days. I just realized right now that I forgot to put it on the agenda to have that to be affirmed. But I am going to take the liberty to take that action to maintain our buildings, our public buildings closed to the general public for another 30 days, unless I hear differently from this council, Mr. Mayor. So I just want to make sure that I bring that to light.
No, I think that's fine, to follow through with the governor's decision also on closing certain, establishments, for another 30 days. I think it's a good idea, John.
But I know you guys have reaffirmed it for 30 days.
Yes.
And so the 30 days is basically up, so I'm taking the liberty going.
Yes, let's continue with it. Members of the council, do you all feel good?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Massey, is there anything you want to say, sir? No?
Nope. No.
Nothing? Everybody cool? Okay, now motion to adjourn?
Well, what
Well,
about future agenda items? You have future agenda?
John, put that screen up
We're
again.
that close, Mr. Mayor.
I tried, guys.
It's like I might turned around.
Okay, future agenda items. Mr. Varona.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. If we could please have that policy, Mr. Kissinger, on the overtime policy for public safety, if we can address that the sooner so we don't get into any problems. And the other item is Mr. Massey, if you could help us, I'm still not in agreement, and I know that the council is, that the EBT board is self-appointed, appointments. We need to have something where the mayor can recommend to the council for appointment. I think their money comes from us. We should have a say in who's going to be a member of that committee. So if you could do something for that.
We'll have an action item on that for the August meeting, Mayor.
Thank you. Also, Mayor, if we could do something so we can have a dialogue on the city manager.
Okay.
And also, if we can have a presentation by our financial advisor, Michael, what's his name again? Michael Vasquez, on helping us with some recommendations so that we can address the issue of the public pension fund. And also, along with that presentation, Mr. Kissinger, this Oro Valley policy, because we may not want to address it, because I like this Oro Valley policy that we can address this, and that it's a policy for every council for the next 15 years, and it's reviewable every year. We need to start getting these things into writing. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Anybody else who want anything for the agenda? Since I didn't get away with that? Are we okay?
Yes.
All right. Motion for adjourn.
So moved. Second?
Let me hit the gavel before he says anything else. Show that screen one more time.
No.
Just go ahead, show it. Let's see it.
We're still on,
No, we need to adjourn.
Yeah. All right. All right. This means adjourned.
Thank you, directors.
All right. There we go.